As many of you know, following World War II, after the original GI Bill of 1944, led to an influx of veterans and wounded warriors into schools and colleges across the country. These individuals went on to graduate and went on to create and lead one of the greatest eras of prosperity this nation has ever known. We're in need of that era now. Historian Milton Greenberg once wrote, "By the time the initial GI Bill eligibility for World War II veterans expired in 1956, the United States was richer by 450,000 trained engineers, 240,000 accountants, 238,000 teachers, 91,000 scientists, 67,000 doctors, 22,000 dentists, and more than 1 million other college-educated individuals." 1 million other college-educated individuals. HBCUs and universities and colleges, to include smaller universities and colleges that value diversity in their educational institutions, were a key part of this effort. Prince George's County currently has approximately 70% African American enrollment, and it is currently one of the leading institutions for diversity and inclusion in Southern Maryland, as well as in the United States. It was institutions like this that assisted and to help these wounded warriors to be successful in their academic endeavors. Many minorities and African Americans who graduated after World War II under the post-9/11 GI Bill would not have been able to do it but for that program. My new boss, Secretary Dr. Clifford Stanley, and Mr. John Campbell, Secretary for Wounded Warrior Care and Transition Policy, they've stated to me many times that when service members are ready to transition into civilian life, they should be focused on one of 3 options: a career, community service, or the classroom. That's it. There's no plan B. It's one of those 3 options. Each one of you can encourage each one of your service members that you know and or family members that you know that they don't need to be part of that lost generation that Dr. Cook spoke about earlier. There are options out there for them, and there are options out there for you. There are currently over 91,000 wounded, ill, and injured service members. Iraq and Afghanistan veterans represent approximately 14% of the unemployed population within that community. For African Americans, the percentage is significantly higher. As historian Ronald Roach wrote, clearly the GI Bill, the original GI Bill, was a crack in the wall of racism that had surrounded the American university system. It forced predominantly white colleges to allow a larger number of blacks to enroll, contributed to a more diverse curriculum in many HBCUs, and helped provide a foundation for the gradual growth of the black middle class. Not only did the GI Bill provide the foundation for the black middle class, it educated the generation of African Americans who would spearhead the American Civil Rights Movement in the 1960s. Many of those who were able to benefit from that educational opportunity also gave back in the form of leadership for this nation. Those individuals clearly made it count, and they helped to make our nation stronger. Things are still not exactly where they need to be in this country, yet with fewer of the barriers that faced our grandparents and great-grandparents, this new post-9/11 GI Bill has every potential to impact America and the African American community in the same profound way. So work to make it count, and know that just as it was while you were in uniform, you were not alone. By the end of this year, the Department of Veterans Affairs and the Department of Defense expects to have placed nearly 250,000 Americans in colleges and universities through this most comprehensive benefit. The departments together have already reached over 280,000 applications for the post-9/11 GI Bill. Some applicants will attend college now, while some will attend in the future, while others will transfer the benefits to their children or their spouse who will be able to enjoy it well into the future. The new GI Bill